Yes, Sirski, thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to another episode of The Real Rah. So, we're going to be looking at Little Nightmares 3 theories, bro. Theories. Little Nightmares, I fuck with it. I fuck with, the gameplay. You might do some Little Nightmares, as a matter of fact. That sounds good. Let's jump right in. So, this is actually a fan-made trailer. Let's take a look at this. Whoa. Okay. This actually looks pretty good. The TVs. Not the TVs again. Wow, this actually looks good. If you told me like this was a prequel made by the same team, I'd be like, yo, yeah. Before the first Little Nightmares, I'd be like, yeah. But no, this is dope. Little Nightmares, guys. What? Yo, bro, chill. You gotta chill. Fire, though. Fire. Next summer. Hopefully. Because I haven't really heard any news about Little Nightmares. But, yo, fire. I like that concept. That was actually fan-made. It looks like it was made by, the development team. So that was actually amazing. Super dope, man. Dope. Super fucking dope. Let's look into...
Should there be a Little Nightmares 3? Well, let's talk about it. What is this Mac Empire? Mac Empire?
Yes.
I see ending of Little Nightmares 2. I go on Reddit. I read at YouTube comments. And I see a very heavy divide between fans who want Little Nightmares 3 versus fans who are like, you know what, it's done. The story of Little Nightmares 2. At least Mono and Six's story is done. So I wanted to pose a question to you guys at first. Should there be
still more
Little
story.
Nightmares 3? And when I say Little Nightmares,
yes,
I'm specifically talking about continuing the franchise and the continuity and the lore that started with Little Nightmares 1 with 6, then going to Mono and 6, and then continuing their story from the crazy twist at the end of Little Nightmares 2. So when we talk about Little Nightmares 3, we're essentially talking about continuing the lore of Little Nightmares, Mono and 6. My answer to that is, there was a perfect small window and opportunity to really close the book on Mono and 6's story through a DLC. What Little Nightmares 2 is, in terms of the lore, in terms of the story, it's nearly perfect. The twist, the whole cycle, putting both Little Nightmares 1 and 2 together and taking out events and be like, yo, this might have happened before or this might have happened after. We're in the time loop. This is a crazy thing. Should have said spoilers. In the end, when it is revealed that the entire time you're getting chased by this thin man is basically you from the future.
That's crazy.
What?
That was fire.
Nightmares 1 might possibly the sequel and we're playing in the prequel? What? There's a lot of parallels here and there, and I feel like the ending really helps us, kind of sort of start and end the loop in some way, right? So if there was any probability of continuing this lore, this story specifically, it should have been through Little Nightmares 2 DLC. That didn't happen. We've talked
what happened to the DLC? They never dropped that.
We've talked about how much content there is in the game files that deserves the DLC treatment. There are so many stories, characters, places that deserved their own DLC, but it's been a while now. It has been a while. It has been a little longer than expected. It is a little unprecedented. I'm not saying it's unprecedented completely, but a little unprecedented to not have a DLC for a game like Little Nightmares a year later. We're almost over 2 years.
True, they should have been dropped that.
Number one.
They should have honestly been dropped that.
They came out, the developers of Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and said, you know what, we're done, the story is done, and now they're moving on to their own project. They even revealed a little teaser for their new project for the next. I'm so excited for that. So they're done with Little Nightmares. Then Bandai Namco, the publishers who own the franchise, they brought in super massive games to do the port, to do the HD version for the next gen. So that's that. And an interesting detail is that Little Nightmares 1 had a couple of DLCs as well. So it still boggles me a little bit that why we didn't get any Little Nightmares 2 DLC. So now the question
Argentina, what's good?
again, should there be Little
Greetings.
Nightmares? First of all, there will be Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares. Have you ever heard of Little Nightmares, man? Great game, scary game.
Look into it.
It's more of a, I would say, thriller, but great game. I love the lore behind it. It's just
but this story right here,
great team.
Tarzir Studios is done. Now, the possible future for
They don't speak, so you learn the complete lore through gameplay. Just playing the game, you learn the lore, learn about the land, how they got there. It's all a big mystery. Like, how did it start? It's all a loop. It's crazy. It's crazy. I love it.
Even further from Mono and 6, which is a good thing, in my personal, humble opinion. You don't have to tackle the timeline of it if you go
Argentina, though. What's good? That's crazy.
In a single
How y'all doing? It's New York, baby. It's New York.
Even for the developers, and the difficult it becomes to appease every fan in the community. And eventually there will be backlash. Eventually there will be controversies. We've seen that with Five Nights at Freddy's. Not gonna get into that. And Bandai Namco, they love this franchise because it does bring them a lot of sales. Bring in a new development team. Give them both Little Nightmares 1 and 2, all the concepts and everything, and be like, yo, go crazy, make a new game. Don't have to tackle the previous stories. Don't have to change anything from the previous stories. Get inspired, make your own game in this universe. And I feel like that would
That's crazy.
That would be amazing. Even multiple
that would be dope. But I kind of do want to continue the story. Like, how does the loop end?
I expect that. Anyways, I would leave you with this question as well. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Subscribe. I'll see you.
I like that a lot. But if they introduce other characters, I want them to connect with Mono and her in some way. You know what I'm saying? They have to be cousins. They knew each other. They're going to stop the loop together. Something. Don't just bring random characters that don't, correlate or connect with anything. Just inside the world, At least the Easter egg. I don't know if an Easter egg is enough. I kind of want their stories to connect. Canonly. Let's look for another one. I feel like that was great. That was definitely great. Yeah, let's go into
Before
this.
we start the video, beware there will be spoilers throughout the video, including the intro.
Okay.
And in 3, 2,
2.
1. Little Nightmares 2 ending left us on a cliffhanger, with many people believing that it's a prequel to the first Little Nightmares game, while some still believe it's a sequel based on some other evidence. In today's video, I will analyze the information we are provided within the story and theorize what would happen in Little Nightmares 3 if it comes out, discussing two different versions, one if Little Nightmare 2 is a prequel, and another if Little Nightmares 2 is a sequel. Hi folks,
I definitely think it's a
your
prequel.
Narrator, and here is Little Nightmares 3 theory. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and beware, as there will be spoilers.
Let's go.
Let's quickly go over the events that took place in Little Nightmares 2 to create a setting for Little Nightmares 3. I will only touch on the story and hints, suggesting whether it's a sequel or a prequel, as it would make the video very long otherwise, and as I've already talked about them in depth in my previous videos. Mono wakes up in a wooded place called the Wilderness with TV statics behind him, which presumably hints out that he teleported here. Evading some traps, Mono finds the hunter's house, where he finds 6 trapped in a room, our protagonist in the first Little Nightmares game. If you've already watched the multitude of videos I made about Little Nightmares or played the game, you'd know 6 is not a character to mess around with, and you should probably watch your back in her presence too. Mono frees 6 from a room she's trapped in. At first, 6 runs away from Mono, but soon works with Mono to overcome the obstacles in this new place. Mono and 6 manage to presumably kill the hunter by shooting him in the face and get aboard a broken door to sail across to the Pale City. Upon their arrival, they're greeted with silence and emptiness. They arrive at a dead city with clothes lying around. Mono then has his first encounter with a TV statics, which he uses to manipulate and teleport to a corridor he dreamt of. But before reaching the door at the end of the corridor, 6 pulls him out. They then reach the school where Mono faces off the teacher with the extending neck. After exiting the school, they stumble upon a parcel room where the iconic
Argentina, what's good?
Is live.
That's crazy.
Mono
Tune in, tune in,
points
tune
out
in.
to it, and 6 wears it while the lights start flickering. They then get to the
Right.
hospital where they encounter the suspended doctor.
Hold on. Let's go back a little bit.
They
Sorry,
then
guys.
reach the school where Mono faces off the teacher with the extending
The
neck.
teacher.
Exiting the
Yo, she
school,
was
they stumble
crazy.
upon
That
a
neck,
parcel
bro.
room where the iconic
That
yellow
neck?
raincoat is lying.
Yeah, she
Mono
was crazy.
points out to it, and 6
Different,
wears it
different.
while the lights start flickering. They then get to the hospital where they encounter the suspended doctor. They manage to incinerate the doctor alive and enjoy the incinerator's warmth briefly. Exiting the hospital, they enter an apartment where again Mono encounters another TV static. This time, Mono manages to reach the door, and when he opens it, we see the Thin Man who stands up, presumably freed now, and teleports
The
out of the
effing
TV
Thin
and
Man.
kidnaps 6. Mono uses the same TV and teleports through it where he sees an eye monster which we will encounter at the end of the game. After some pickle with
Gotcha.
the viewers, Mono gets chased by the Thin Man, who then he has a final face-off with and manages to kill. Mono enters the radio tower where time and space is all distorted. Mono manages to get to 6, who
course.
has been deformed
Of course it
and
is.
turned into a monster. Mono destroys 6's music box, and this in turn makes 6 turn into her normal self. After trying to run away
Wow.
from the eye monster,
No.
crossing a thin crumbling bridge, Mono jumps, but 6 lets go of him, dropping him to his doomed fate, where he sits for many years to become the Thin Man.
That's
Then
fucked up.
6 teleports out of the TV, unsure
Yo,
of
guys,
what to
why
do,
did she drop
and
him?
gets greeted by
'Cause
her
she was
shadow,
hungry?
who seemingly
I think possibly 'cause she was
has
getting hungry and she tried to
Mono,
protect him.
looks at a leaflet of the
So she
maw,
rather drop him
indicating
than
that
kill him?
6 should go to the maw.
That makes
So
sense.
At this point, many people think that it's a prequel, and many
She felt
others
herself
that
like
it's
breaking.
a sequel. As people can have different
I
opinions,
think it was like a mercy
I will
kill.
go
Like, yo, let me
through
just drop you rather than
possibilities
eat
of
you.
What would happen in Little Nightmares 3? Let's theorize
Definitely a
what
prequel.
will possibly happen in Little Nightmares 3 if Little Nightmares 2 was a prequel to the first game. This would suggest that the events
2 is a
of Little
prequel.
Nightmares 1 haven't occurred yet and will take place soon after 6 arrives at the maw. So in this possibility, 6 travels to the maw being directed by her shadow, who might suffer from amnesia or dual personality, which makes her forget her past. This is suggested in the
No.
comic and 6's description that she forgets a lot and struggles to remember. But this wouldn't impact the story
Wonder why. What is she hiding?
Makeover on YouTube Shorts.
The little witch.
See your favorite creators.
She was in on it the whole time. She dropped my boy in the gutter, bro.
Watch
The gutter?
your own on YouTube Shorts.
The floor. The eye monster, bro. You saw it and you left him there. Fucked up. It's not your man's. It be your own
the very
man's.
end.
It be your own
Friendship
man's.
members or not, so either could be possible. A question soon arises to why
I actually have Little Nightmares. I wanna play that?
Suitcase, and why
We
does
could
the
do that.
suitcase look similar to the one in Little Nightmares?
I gotta
2?
download it,
And
though. I gotta-
also, how does
Might have
she
to wait.
manage going to the maw? As we know, maw is a massive underwater vessel, and the entry point is high up, where a type of platform is required to get to. Using a raft would be extremely challenging. There are some theories that she absorbed Mono's powers and teleported to the maw, but through what we've been shown, she only can absorb life forces through eating or biting people. She hasn't yet acquired the
So
latent
what?
powers to use a magical black cloud to do that. And even
Maybe
if
she
so,
did absorb
we
them.
didn't even see any black clouds to absorb Mono's
I mean, it was
powers.
open, so
Therefore,
open
we have a
tunnel-
big question to
open
how
portals,
Six
she just
traveled
walked through,
to the
kinda,
maw,
you know?
And why did she wake up in a suitcase? Then we know what events take place in the maw, and she presumably traveled there to absorb life forces and satiate her hunger. At the end, 6 absorbs the lady's powers and stands outside of the maw's main door, with a ship horn being heard at the distance. This hints out that 6 would use
Crazy.
the ship and leave the maw. But why would she do that? She is in the perfect
Why?
place, suitable for her.
True.
She has multitude of guests who are farmed like livestock, ready to be eaten, or have their life forces
True.
absorbed by 6. And
Then she
as
just
we
got sucked in a
witnessed,
cycle,
the
you
Pale
know?
City is a dead city with barely any life.
Ah.
So where would 6 travel to? In my previous videos, I analyzed
True.
some evidence and theorized that 6 will become the
What
lead.
happens when everybody's
And it would
gone,
make
though?
sense that the maw is the perfect place for sex as it was for the lady, to herd and feed the guests like livestock, to then finally kill them by absorbing their life forces. This brings a question to whether sex is amnesiac or not. If she is, she would then travel to the Pale City again, realizing that there's no food or life there, and then come back to the maw again. But it is not a possible outcome, as the shadow seems to direct sex to what to do. Therefore, the shadow sex would possibly stop sex from leaving the maw. In that case, sex stays in the maw and claims the role of the new lady, possibly
she has
the
to
same
eat
doomed fate by being eaten by a sex in the future, who then repeats the loop.
Right,
In this
another
case
little
scenario,
girl.
Little Nightmares 3 will possibly introduce a new character who will try to break
I hope
the loop
so.
and save the children who are the most
I kind of hope we do
vulnerable
see new
victims
characters,
in
but at
the
least
story.
intertwine them,
Villains
make
are evil and
them a
have
cousin, make them
abilities
something. Do they
and
stop the
eventually
loop?
become the villains,
Make it
just
all
like
connect, you know what I
Mono
mean?
and
Don't just
Six,
make
and maybe the
a
king
random
in the Tale of the
character.
North Wind,
Make a
where
different game. You want to make a
Charles
different game?
theorized in
Make a different
another
game.
but
You know what I'm
majority
saying?
of the
I
children
want a
seem to
continuation
be
of this story.
innocent.
Like, how does it end?
We will possibly get a new character as both Mono and Six are preoccupied
I hope
in
so.
the loop. Now let's discuss
How
what
do they
would
break
happen
the
if,
loop?
in fact,
And how
Little
does it
Nightmares
start?
2 was a sequel to the first game.
Or
Six,
finish?
completing her mission to
It's a
trap
loop, you know,
Mono
it's crazy.
so that
I don't
the
know.
loop keeps
I
on
don't know.
running,
It's
returns back
nuts.
to the maw to claim her position as the new lady. And as the paintings suggest, Six slowly grows up to become the lady. At this point, as we don't know the subsequent possible
Yes,
events,
sir. Tune in. Make sure y'all like,
anything
comment, and
happens. But again,
subscribe.
a very likely possibility is
Follow,
that we will see the
like,
role of a new
subscribe,
character
follow
who
the
will try to
YouTube.
save
YouTube is the
children
real right, no
and possibly
space.
break the loop. But again, both
Straight through.
Six
Let's
and
do it.
Mono are preoccupied at this stage to complete their life cycle until they're destroyed by younger versions of themselves. So in reality, whether it's a prequel or a sequel wouldn't have much impact on what would happen in Little Nightmares 3.
True, it's a
There are
loop.
some aspects which stay the same despite Little Nightmares 2 being a prequel or a sequel. The eye is behind the predicament.
Follow your boy.
And
On
the
YouTube,
the
like,
eye
comment, and
distorts the
subscribe. It's the
reality
real right,
in
no
its
space on
face,
YouTube. Let's go.
enslaves people through his powers for a certain purpose which is not very clear. Maybe that's how the eye survives, by leeching on people and creating time loops and accessing the real world. Therefore, the eye is the big villain which we need to destroy in Little Nightmares 3 to break the loop and save the world of Little Nightmares. Whatever character we will assume the role of in the next game will be the hero to possibly do that. But as we know Little Nightmares, it likes to complicate the story. Otherwise, what's the fun of having another straightforward hero defeats the villain story? So expect there to be more than just a straightforward plot. We know the eye is the culprit behind distorting the city.
this should be all over the place,
and
honestly. I'm not even gonna hold you.
dilemma. After that, we actually have the villainous Six.
But
to
I fuck
defeat.
with it. I'm ready for 3. Or at least drop some DLC for 2. No. Yeah, but I'm definitely super excited. I'm ready for 3, but at least drop some DLC. They definitely need to do that ASAP, guys. But that is all. I'm out. Are you excited for Little Nightmares 3? Do you think they should drop DLC, or let's just skip 2 and let's jump right to, 3? Forget the DLC. I kind of still want DLC to, tie up the loose ends. Did we get any DLC for Little Nightmares 2? I don't think so. I don't believe so. No, I don't think so. But yeah, they definitely got to tie up some loose ends. But that's their whole thing, being a mystery. What's going on? What's this? Who's doing it? How'd the loop start? That's their whole thing. So that's kind of what keeps us going, keep us intrigued. So it's gonna kind of be hard to make a change. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's it. I'm out. Thank you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Yeah, you've been amazing. But I am officially out. This is the Real Raw, no space on YouTube, and I'm out. Y'all take care of your handle your business, man. Little Nightmares 3, man. Let me know what y'all want to see. What are y'all theories? What, you know what I mean? What's going on? But I'm out. Peace. I know the vibes.